Endocrine disruptors are substances that interfere with the hormonal balance of living organisms, and can thus potentially have negative effects on health. In this video, we will show you how the output is done in ChemGuess and how you can customize it to your needs based on frequently asked questions.
The list of endocrine-active substances that we have implemented is a compilation of several lists that can be viewed on the website edlists.org. This compilation includes the following sublists. List 1 contains substances that have been identified as endocrine disruptors at EU level. List 2 contains substances for which there are indications that they are endocrine disruptors, but whose evaluation under EU law has not yet been completed. List 3 contains substances that are classified as endocrine disruptors by the national authority performing the evaluation.
Regulation EU 2020/878 specifies the locations in the safety data sheet, where information on these endocrine disrupting substances must be issued. This information has to be provided in the following sections. In Section 2.3, at Other Hazards, all substances included in these three lists are listed under the heading, Determination of Endocrine Disrupting Properties. In Section 11.2, at Information on Other Hazards, the heading Endocrine Disrupting Properties has been added. In Section 3.2, Dangerous Components, such a statement is not additionally required. However, if a pure substance is to be named due to its endocrine disrupting properties and has no further classification, this property will be mentioned as justification for showing the substance in Section 3. In this example, both substances have endocrine disrupting properties. Since the first substance has hazards, it is not specifically mentioned that it has endocrine disrupting properties. The second substance has no other hazards, therefore this statement is necessary. If you want to output this information, even if it is not required, go to the maintenance programs, there to the various tables, to countries, and there select the option, Common Settings for several countries. There, select Alterations for the European Union and, when specifying additional information, the setting, Additional information is always displayed, even if H phrases are present. Do not forget to start the transfer afterwards with F10 or by clicking onto the corresponding key. You can also specify this for individual countries separately. To do this, go to the relevant country. There you will find the option, Specification of Additional Information, where you can set how the output should be done for the respective country.
ChemGuess also specifies substances whose evaluation is still pending, for example substances in List 2. Thus, our information is more precise and goes beyond the minimum requirement to specify confirmed substances. If one wants to give a comprehensive indication of confirmed and still unconfirmed but suspected endocrine disruptor properties, the indication of all three sublists is quite justified. ChemGuess also lists suspect substances for which an investigation is pending at the European level and substances that have been identified as endocrine disruptors at the national level but not at the European level. This provides comprehensive information on the endocrine disrupting properties.
Since not every customer shares our point of view and may want to specify only substances from List 1 and 2, or only substances from List 1 at all, we have created a way to restrict this. To do this, go to the Maintenance Programs, to the Sub-Item Safety Data Sheets, from there to the General Options. Then you can define under endocrine substances whether List 2 or List 3 is to be output.
The explicit reference to the absence of endocrine disrupting substances in the mixture is not required according to Annex 2 of the REACH regulation in the currently valid version. However, if you wish to do so, it is quite easy to activate a corresponding phrase. To do this, simply go to the heading, Determination of Endocrine Disrupting Properties. Then click on the button, F2 Maintenance of Phrases. For the phrase number, enter 300. The already created phrase will be shown. In this case we have already specified the phrase with the text not applicable. If you want a different text, click first in the field, Standard Phrase, and select No Allocation in the overview screens. Then you can enter the text that you want. But since you will certainly need this text in other languages, just click the button for automatic translation of all missing languages. The translation will take place immediately. After the translation process, do not forget to transfer all translated phrases either by pressing F10 or by clicking on the button Transfer of the selected phrases. Now you only have to activate that the text is also output if no endocrine-damaging substances are present. To do this, click into the field, Conditions, and Output Options. Enable the option, this phrase will always be used if no other phrase has been selected.
Especially for raw materials that have been created by yourself, it may in some cases be necessary to indicate that the substance is endocrine disrupting, or to remove this information. To do this, go into the raw material in question. Then click on Ctrl-L, Substance Listings. Within the values for the European Union, enter in the line EDC endocrine disrupting chemicals to which list this substance belongs. Please note that you do not have to enter the word list, but only the list numbers in Roman numerals, for example 1, 2 or 3, whereby double entries are also possible. No validation is performed, so you can also enter any other values, which will then be listed in the SDS as entered.
In contrast to sections 2 and 3, no limit is mentioned for section 11 in the legal text, therefore a nominal limit of 0% is given by default in the properties of the substance list. If you are of the opinion that substances are only relevant if they are also mentioned in sections 2 or 3, which is also quite reasonable and understandable, you can set this nominal limit to 0.1% and thus align it with sections 2 and 3. To do this, go to the first screen of your preparation. Press Ctrl-L, enter the maintenance of the substance listings. In the substance listings for the European Union, right-click on the substance list EDC endocrine disrupting chemicals. Then you can specify that your substances should only be output from 0.1%.